So today the topic is marriage communication. This is from Gavriella Ever. She's a counselor of spouses and of people who are looking to get married, and she teaches at Machon Chana. So what is the goal? The goal is to have a closeness to the spouse. So let's talk about needs. Needs that everybody has in some way. These are different categories. So of course we all need food and nurturing. We all need water, balance, and good health. We all need time to sleep and regeneration. We all need protection from the elements. We all need safety in familiar places. We all need room to breathe, air. Even nice smells is something that is considered like a need. Like, we don't want to have bad smells. We want to have a house that smells clean, laundry that smells clean. We want to smell clean. And we also feel this way about our spouse. So when we reveal our needs and meet each other's needs, even meeting our own needs, this is how we get close to someone, how we get close to ourselves. We digest it and we accept from others. I hope it's not too loud, the background noise, but hopefully it's okay. So what are some love languages that we know of? And these are very important, because if someone is communicating with you and you can't hear it, you're not going to be able to hear. You're not going to be able to receive the transmission in that language. So one of them is closeness, physical touch, eye contact. One of them is words of affirmation. One is acts of service. One is receiving gifts. And one is quality time, personal attention. And everyone could have also unique languages just for that person. Like, each one could have a totally different, but they generally, if we want to just speak clearly about it, it could fall into one of these. When we develop a love language with our spouse about experiences, needs, feelings, and even feeling needed, it becomes a new language just the two people have, and it could be more included if they have children. Additional, can be privacy. These are additional things that are important to people, like having privacy, having our things of one's own possession, exercise or movement, talking things out, whether it's to be heard or to be validated, sunshine, time in nature, having purpose every day, a fulfilling job or some kind of work that feels meaningful, to be productive, order and organization, schedules, routines, tidiness, regulation, stability, cleanliness, and of course to be needed. So whether it's in a family or social life, there's a sense of belonging. And we also know, of course, mental health. This really is a lot about a spiritual connection, inner harmony, freedom, and what we call in Hebrew simcha, which is happiness. There's also financial security, or financial power, really, right? Independence, beauty, color, music, nice clothes, and then higher level would be wisdom, knowledge, and perspective. Facing challenges does take work, and it produces love. A lot of people say, I just want the easy way out, but we do not get, as the effort is the reward. And actually we learn in Chassidus that when you work hard at something, you earned your portion. Nobody could take it from you because you earned it. But if someone just gives you something, someone else could just take it away. On some level, that could feel true. So it produces love. The I and the we, the individuals and also a couple, together we can heal each other and meet all of our needs and become more functional and live in a way that works for us and cure the hang-ups or the wounds in the home. And this is in a home, in a cocoon structure. And we also each have a personal story in the context of societal norms. This means that there's a child's unique personality and temperament. There's environment and circumstances that they grow up in. And each one of us was a child that grew up. So when you're considering a partner, as in the context of societal norms, they have their own personal story, which includes also attitude of the parents, feedback from the parents, about who or on us or to who we are, capacity of the parent to guide the child's capacity to accept guidance. And we know that when needs are not met, it looks like a lot of different things. But mostly we could summarize by saying it's an external kind of acting out. It's an escalation. This means it's a need. It's not just, I want to be looked at more often. And, by people. So someone might dress flashy. We're talking here about a need. A need, what's the underlying? I'm just giving an example. The underlying need would be attention. So what happens when somebody escalates or acts out? Could be everything from they come across arrogant or resentful or mean or appearing self-sufficient but really wishing for more nurture. They may make an unpleasant look. They may not just be selfish but even seem like a spoiled brat. It just feels that way. We're not saying there's actually a rule of what is a spoiled brat, or disrespectful. So part of being in a relationship, for marriage, for communication, if you want one that lasts, according to her, and what seems to be true, is you have to be able to have a self-assessment, a genuine self-assessment. You have to be ready to learn and grow. You have to be ready to face what was previously ignored. We call this in Hebrew cheshbon nefesh. You have to be willing. I think you could. Cheshbon nefesh means like a flesh account, but really means like, what's your weight, what's your balance, like not just in the flesh, but like what have you been making heavier or lighter, and also you could really do it in your spirit and your neshama. You can make an account. It's called doing a cheshbon. Also about self-care. We have to be willing to be honest with ourselves. We have to care for ourselves. We can't actually go to our spouse for everything, and we have to prioritize ourselves. This also often means it's very difficult. There could be a lot of grief. This is what we call healing. To become whole is to let go of the idealized version of the parent and see their flaws, their shortcomings, and their triggers as an opportunity to not seek to change the parent. And so every time these triggers happen, we can look at it, okay, the desire I have is to make things different. Rather, I can actually speak from the place of who I am. This is called inner voice. It's also called self-talk. And the reception of no rejection as a chance to notice and validate myself. So when I say no or a rejection, I mean two different things. If you hear a no and you want to hear a yes, or you're rejected when you want to be accepted, you can still accept yourself and say yes to yourself. That's called self-validation. That's validating our own feelings. We can even offer solutions to ourselves. When we experience emptiness, it is usually not because the other person's not feeding us our needs, it's because we are self-neglecting. And not only is that too high of a price to pay for a connection, but it also hurts the partner and the other loved ones. We're avoiding our own well-being with an excuse that giving to those who need us more is going to be productive, but it's counterproductive. Our self-fulfillment, and I like to think of self-fulfillment as ruach nachon, which means a true spirit. A true spirit means I'm being my true self, the true version of me, and fulfilling myself, prioritizing myself, validating myself, caring for myself. This gives us the resources to be able to meet others' needs. When we ask ourselves why someone is being mean, whether it's disrespectful, arrogant, whatever, where it is coming from, the reason for them pushing away the connection, we start to get curious about it. It's not actually about us. We start to remember that we don't have to be triggered every time someone else gets triggered. That's another kind of healing. So safety and trust are big deals. Safety is, you have to feel safe that you're not going to be violated, that you'll be comforted if you open up, that there'll be sensitivities, that feelings are that there's safety for feelings, safety for our senses even. If it's too loud, like I saw someone honking so loud, the woman was like covering her ears, like it was too much. And then I tried to tell him it's not really helping, and he started like calling me names, and I said, "You're really acting like a little boy." I said, I see you're very angry. He starts, being nasty. And I said, "You're really acting like a little boy." So this is his inner child growing up. So it's kind of like doing the work sometimes can happen with not even our own spouse, but seeing people in the street and interacting with people. So feeling safe in ourselves means that wherever we go, we don't need to control the other people so that we feel safe. They may get triggered, they may not. And then there's also like a sense of security, that literally the physical parameters and the self are secure enough and won't be mocked, attacked, and so on, even privacy. So we have to experience this safety state it's required in order to have a close connection. And now trust, and this will be the last section. So trust can be learned through habits that develop trust. Before I go into, so first of all, what are the habits? Before we do that, what does trust feel like? It feels like someone has our back, that they consider us, they care for us, they're sensitive to our emotions and show appreciation. They are punctual, honest, and reliable and dependable. Just think about if you would trust an employee who's always late, or doesn't pay, or a friend who doesn't pay you back, or someone who always lies to you about how you look. Like, we want someone who we trust, a good listener, also someone who defends us and supports us, and may ask follow-up questions to know us better, remembers the stuff that's important to us, caters to our needs, makes us feel secure, knows our love language, communicates love and devotion to us. And this is called a state of being where there is an experience that they're on our side. We lower the guard. In short, the difference here between safety and trust is that with safety, there's an experience, and trust is something that's earned through the habits. So safety is a sense that certain things will not happen. Trust is that this person has earned our ability to rely on them, to feel considered by them, to feel cared about, to be dependent on. And remember, this is where we could lower our guard. So we could, in order to be safe, we probably need to trust them. They have to make us feel secure. And knows our love language means, and communicates love and devotion to us means that we build trust together. It's not just a one-time thing that you trust someone forever. One time they did something to you that made you feel, good, but it's asking questions, it's remembering the important things, it's catering to our needs. It's like someone who accommodates us and shows us in an ongoing way that they're on our side. So I'm going to finish with, what are the habits to develop trust? This is if you're trying to become a more trustworthy person, or you're trying to communicate with someone about how to be someone that you could trust more. One is clear communication. One is giving them time. Practicing your values, apologizing when needed, not speaking badly about others. And you might think, oh, but I trust this person and we can talk bad about the other person. No, that means that on some level you feel that person talks bad about others. It could be about you. Being authentically me, being authentically ourselves, being accountable and owning our choices, being forgiving, honoring commitments, keeping confidences, giving benefit of the doubt, not judging the other's struggles, and admitting our own struggles. And I will stop here and wish you a good night. Bye.